Hey, what's up? We
Hi,
did it.
how's it going?
It
Nice
worked.
new. I really like your new camera.
Oh yeah, it's not mine. This is my crappy phone as you saw.
I like it.
Yeah,
Um, so I asked people what kind of music they like to listen to while they were working,
yeah.
and Linda says Goldfrapp.
Oh, okay.
What kind of music do you like to listen to when you're working,
um,
or do you not listen to music when you work?
no. For a while, I did. Like, I would just put it on I would be lazy and put it on a Spotify. Ooh, here comes Kitty already. Like a Spotify playlist because
Yeah,
what eats all my time up is like trying to choose what to listen to, and so it's like I started it started distracting me from from painting or anything. So I started just doing audiobooks.
right.
And then and I would try to just for some reason I was just well actually I guess the only thing I could follow was just listening to really bad Stephen King books on YouTube, and I like that.
I get all excited because I like to read theory,
Yeah,
um, but I even think it'd be easy. But I like it to be easy, not
yeah,
easy to, but just like I don't want to have to stop everything to read it. So I think, well, I'll just listen to people reading these books to
yeah,
me out loud, and
yeah.
it's impossible. It's impossible.
Yeah, no, it's I don't know. I actually think I work better when I'm not listening to anything. I get stuff done faster, like, and then because I think when I listen to music, like I start thinking about it.
Yeah, because you
Like
also play it. Yeah,
I'm like, ooh, is this how it was recorded, or or like, or especially if it was something that like people you knew sort
yeah.
of, or like you're like, oh yeah, I remember that, blah blah blah, and it's
So,
just it's yeah.
so Nicole Barrick says, long time no see.
Oh yeah, shit. I from a million. I guess when's the last? Maybe in Baltimore sometime a million years ago.
Yeah.
Ah, how's it going?
And some people listen to jazz,
Yeah.
and Linda's listening to Smell of Female. That's I
Ooh.
guess that's a maybe a book.
Yeah, I don't know.
I started listening to this book called The Art of Doing Nothing, and
Oh yeah.
I liked it, but it was so dense that I kind of felt like I had to keep stopping it and hearing it again.
Yeah.
And then the woman who's reading it sounds like Jane Krasinski or Krasowski or whatever her name is, who's on 30 Rock.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, the one that plays like the Broadway actress.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just kept on thinking that everything she was saying was like comedy, even though it's not a
Yeah.
funny book.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm trying to get into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, shall we? Do you want to? You feel like you want to do some doodling?
Let's should we do
Oh,
it?
Sharpie.
Look at this.
I'm going with the ballpoint pen.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Okay, so
So,
let me see if I can turn this. So what do? You put the camera and you just face it down?
yes.
Okay.
You know what you're doing.
I don't know. Like, we'll see. I'm gonna have to. Here we
I'm
go.
gonna fiddle with my camera. Here's gonna be a
Okay,
good
here we
time.
go. Boom.
All right. All right, folks. So that's your cue if you'd like to draw with us.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Everyone start drawing. Oh.
no, I mean I'm not forcing you to. I'm just suggesting. I'm trying not to be teacherly.
There we
You
go.
know. I'm trying to break that habit.
Okay.
And everyone gets to look at my light and my armature.
How does this paper look? Is this okay, you think?
Paper looks great. You need to scoot it more towards you,
Okay.
and I will get my apparatus.
Ooh.
And but I got to switch it around.
Oh.
Paul?
Oh, we're going. Here we go.
Yeah.
These problems.
We had someone who was doing this cliff, and he was balancing his camera on a plate of glass, and then the whole thing fell and broke. It was quite a spectacle. But but it was very spontaneous, so that's good.
Yeah.
All right, some people like world music, some people like jazz. That's just the music that people like to listen to.
Oh, that's cool.
I got really into like 60s early electronic music, a lot of that tape looping music that they were early on. And And then I listen to ESG a lot just because I don't have to think too much when I do.
Oh, that's good.
And Fela Kuti, anything that's kind of repetitive.
Yeah,
you know?
like rhythmic and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait for your first line. Okay, you begin. Boom. There we
Oh,
go.
don't wait for me.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
what were you up to today?
Well, yeah, what was I up to? Well, let's see. I did some emails for my job,
Ooh.
and thank you for asking.
Yeah.
And I kind of did that, and then I had a phone call or Zoom call with a guy who does psychoanalysis for artists.
Whoa.
Yeah, so he's like, and I was like, well, I want to try this out, see what this is like. And it was interesting. I guess my feeling about psychoanalysis is that I've been doing it, I've gone to it for so long that I almost have to watch myself that I'm not trying to trick anybody.
Oh, wow.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it totally does. Yeah.
So I just want to make sure I'm doing it for the right reasons, and that the person knows what's going on. But yeah, so the jury's still out on that one.
Nice.
But and then after that, Kid and I went to look for a cat, another cat to keep our present cat company.
Oh, is your cat now like kind of lonely, you think?
Yeah, we think he's lonely, and we raised him since he was 1 day old. So he only knows humans, and he's learned some bad behavior from us, and we were hoping to get a cat that could help him learn more about how to be a cat.
You mean he's like acting out?
I don't know if he's acting out. I think he just wants to play a lot,
Oh.
And
Do you have like toys for him?
we have toys. I think it comes down to, he gets tired of the toys and then just wants to attack us.
Oh,
And,
man. Does he
it's
bite?
he is a biter. He doesn't bite too hard, but it's annoying. So
Oh,
anyway,
man.
I mean, if Kid were here, and he is here, I believe.
He's there somewhere.
Yeah, Kid is here. He would say, "Oh, Elroy he's not that bad. He's not that bad." And I guess he's not, but I just worry, he needs to be with another cat. So that said, we looked for another cat today, and we were told that we should get another kitten because he's a kitten, and we should get someone who's younger than him.
Ooh.
I thought I was doing this whole thing where I thought, oh, well, we'll get the older cat to show him the ways, But in fact, they're saying a younger cat, so he feels like he is more of the boss. So there's not as much of a territory, problem. Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Like, that's the thing is, I mean, there's sometimes I'm like, wow, like another cat would keep my cat company, but I feel like he's such a little weird person.
Yeah.
That he might be really bossy and kind of mean maybe to the other cat.
Right.
Because he's like he very much herds us. Like the minute it's like he does everything to a schedule, and if you're not in place, he sort of forces you there.
Yeah.
But I guess all cats kind of do that.
Yeah. Did you have a Siamese cat or a calico cat?
No, he's like a Turkish Angora.
Oh.
Yeah, and today he made a big accident on his long fur on his butt, and so I had to wipe his butt down, and that was really gross.
Yeah. It was kind of funny because while we were visiting the kittens, I was sitting on the floor with them, and there's a lot of them, and you kind of have to figure out, well, which one's the one that seems like the right fit, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's like interviewing someone for a job, I guess. But in the long run, I was sitting right next to the cat box, and I could definitely hear all the pooping going on right behind me.
Oh wow, that's pretty
So, yeah, that was nice. That was a nice.
good.
That was like, okay, more cats.
Yeah. See, I'm like, I heard some crazy thing. Maybe it's totally true. They said every cat you got to have 2 litter boxes, and
Yeah.
I don't, I think that's just too much. I don't, because one takes up like so much. I don't know. It's just like we just keep ours in the basement, but I feel like if there was 2, it would just be like. I mean, I scoop it every day, but I think it would just be overkill.
Did you hear that thing about that if you're around cat feces too much, or if there's too much cat feces,
Oh, you go crazy.
Yeah, you become schizophrenic.
Yeah, I think I don't know. Well, yeah, then you're like pregnant women shouldn't be near it or something like that.
Because they might actually have a cat, like the baby.
Yeah,
the baby becomes a cat.
Yeah, totally. And
yeah,
I mean, I sometimes think about that. It's sort of like lead poisoning or something in water or something. Like it's like if you have too much cat poo around. And I mean, it's possible. You know, I mean, I mean, it's a good thing to blame. You know, like if you start hearing stuff in your head and you're just, you know, you're just like, oh, it must be the cat's fault.
See, my thing is, if you are able to say it's the cat's fault, then you're still kind of sane, because you're still trying to put a reason to it. You don't believe it's completely real.
Yeah.
You still are trying to explain reality as opposed to just accepting it for it at face value.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounded really paranoid. Nicole says she has 4 cats, and that would be 8 litter boxes. So we've got some math going on here.
See, that can't be normal. I mean, that's just. I mean, I know it's good, but but as long as you scoop it like every day, I mean, and like flush it down. I mean, isn't that good enough? You know? I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, flushing it down, I forgot you could do that. We've been packing it up and shipping it away.
Oh, yeah, you could totally do that too. People love that as a gift, you know. People totally dig that.
That's
true. I don't know. So what questions, do you have any good questions for
Oh, well, I asked about music. You got me thinking about Satanic Panic.
Oh, yeah.
And it got me, and so I looked at that what is it? The podcast is called You Got It Wrong or something like that?
What's it called? You Were Wrong About. Yeah, it's really funny.
You Were Wrong About It.
Yeah.
And I recommended it to someone, but I recommended it to someone before actually listening to it. So
yeah. I mean, they might hate it. I mean, there is like.
Because they're talking about like OJ and stuff, and I'm like, that, for some people, that's still, the jury's out on that.
Well, they talk a lot about a lot of murders as well and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But usually it's interesting because their take on it's always, you know, it's interesting. They do a lot of research, but they're really fun to listen to. The only thing that's kind of weird is like the guy in it, when he reads something, he takes big long breathy pauses in between it, and it's kind of weird. But besides that, it's amazing.
Like for drama, or why would he do it?
Like he'll be like, and then she took the knife and he goes like a deep breath.
Oh,
and every time, and it's like, or like it's sort of like sounds like you're getting ready to say the next thing, but you don't have enough air in your system.
Oh, maybe he has emphysema or he smokes.
Yeah. There might be a totally legitimate excuse. You know.
Now, did you still smoke, or did you never smoke?
I never smoked.
Why do I think that you smoked? That's weird.
I can't. I don't even look right holding a cigarette. Like I sometimes hold it like as a joke, and I'm like, look, like see how weird this looks. And people go, yeah, that looks really weird. Like I can't hold it in a normal way.
Yeah.
Like it's like I don't know. Yeah, I just never.
What's a normal way to hold cigarettes?
I don't know. Some people it looks good when they smoke. You know, they look normal, but I just can't pull it off. You know, it's like wearing leather pants, you know, or something like that.
Now you've worn leather pants.
No, I've always had like at the most I've always just had like jumpsuits or something like that, or like lady jeans. That's about it though. Mm. Yeah, like I would always go to they had like the cheap, wasn't a thrift store, but it was like a like outlet stores, and especially for when you perform, it's like you have to get the lady jeans because they just have better cuts.
That's true. Although I think they're making things with a tighter cut now.
Oh yeah, nowadays, yeah. But
Yeah.
before it was just it was awful.
Impossible to find.
Yeah.
Now now the Satanic Panic. I can tell you a little story and see what you think. I went through Satanic Panic.
Oh, cool.
And actually, not that I had a Satanic Panic. That never happened.
Yeah.
But my hometown was part of that's where the MacArthur preschool trial happened. Wait, Heather, if you're there, is it MacArthur or McMartin? McMartin, there you go.
Was that the
McMartin preschool?
That was the one where they thought that the teachers were like doing stuff to the kids and stuff?
Yeah, the teachers were, well, for a while it was the teachers were doing abusive things.
Yeah, is that also, they said there were tunnels under the school, right?
The tunnels, and then there was also, they were manipulating the children by threatening the animals. I mean, it's horrible.
Oh, didn't they say, there was a gorilla, someone had a baby gorilla paw? No,
I mean, it kind of goes crazy because at some point what happens is that at some point what happened was that more and more like town businesses started to be implicated. For a while. Right at the beginning, people were saying like the bakery, the clothing store, all the neighborhood businesses downtown. There's somehow a cover for like a porn ring for child porn, and
oh, wow.
It goes back to that whole child porn
ring.
And Satanism is always involved with it. And
then
later on it became like a whole thing about neoliberals being involved and all that. But
did any adults like buy into it?
I was pretty, I guess I was right. I might have been out of high school at that point.
Oh, okay.
One of my friends was friends with the McMartin family, and that was a real weird thing for him because he knew them in a different sort of way. And so it kind of started to become like I don't know. I don't like to use the word witch hunt because it's been abused in the past. But some people felt like they were being targeted. Some people felt that the therapists that were being consulted were leading the witnesses in terms of the kids. So there was a whole thing. But right around that time, I do remember also like Sally Jesse Raphael and Phil Donahue and all those.
Yeah, Oprah. Everyone had a special on it.
Geraldo. Geraldo. Everyone just was convinced that Satanism, was the cause of it.
Yeah. My cousin used to have this comic book, like a religious comic book called The Crusaders. But it was about like this duo team. It was like these muscle guys, kind of like almost like
superheroes,
like bodybuilder guys that fought Satanists. And like every episode, it was by Jack Chick, the one that made those comics that you'd find in gas stations and stuff, This Was Your Life and stuff.
I just found one the other day in a bathroom. Where was I? I was in a diner and I went to the bathroom and there was one of those on the sink. Yeah.
But in this comic, they actually in between the comic, they actually had like how to baptize yourself in the sink. Stuff, and they like showed you how, and it really freaked me out because I wasn't baptized.
Oh yeah, I got flack for that too. Did people tell you were going to go to hell?
Could be possessed because of it.
Oh yeah.
It's like a doorway. I mean, if you don't get baptized, that the devil can come inside you.
Right, and and really, when it comes to the devil, they really should come right on your back instead of inside.
Bada bing!
Bada bing! Oh.
But it's like, when I was a kid, I mean, definitely that was a big fear is possession, because of all those movies like Burnt Offerings and stuff, and Exorcist and all those knockoff films,
Yeah. A comment from my father says it ruined a lot of innocent people's lives. And
Yeah.
he was part of, I guess he was part of a group of people who were working with the kids too. But it was kind of the beginnings in some ways of cancel culture. People would
Yeah.
be targeted for these kinds of things, and then even if they weren't involved at all, or even if there was no Satanism involved, their name was still kind of
Oh
connected to it.
yeah.
So I could see it's like a real like a hysteria, and
Oh
it's weird
yeah.
because because of all those movies at the same time. Do you think there's a connection between like movies and television and actual violence, or like how people act in the world?
I think so. I mean, I definitely, when I was a kid, because I watched a lot of like Charles Bronson films, and like I was really into just like shoot 'em ups,
Yeah,
and so that just seemed like, like, oh, that's how you deal with stuff. You're just like, it's like revenge stuff was like the way to go. You blow
right,
something up, and especially when you're a kid. And so I just remember being a kid, and all we did was ride bikes and play guns all the time, and just go pow pow bang bang, and then
right.
set stuff on fire, because that was like, the
Well,
release.
yeah, 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 and it's fun, and you're not supposed to do it, so
Yeah, and it's just, and I mean, I think now it's like, I mean, I know it's probably square to say, but I think video games definitely are out of control, nuts.
oh
But
yeah,
I don't play them, but I bet if like I was a kid now, that's all I would do. I would just be like hooked on them because they're so rad. But I can't even like begin to try to play them because it would just be like it'd be crack. So I just stay away as far as I can.
I remember I had a teaching job, and I was frustrated because I needed to get paid more for it,
Hmm.
and it wasn't happening, but I was still doing it. And so to vent my frustration, I actually played that game Doom. Remember Doom?
Oh yeah, that game was rad.
And I played that, and I was like, God, I'm really violent. Like, I really am getting
Yeah.
off on this. And the thing about it is, I don't think of myself as a violent person. At least I don't strive to resolve conflict through that. But in terms of the fantasy of it, it's
Oh
interesting
yeah.
how that works. Like
Yeah. I mean, oh
I
no, go
did,
on.
I did that Krav Maga Israeli fighting technique.
Oh,
It,
what's that?
it's basically a martial arts, and you're taught how to kill people.
Oh, that's
It,
cool.
well, it was so intense. I was the only one that wasn't like a cop or a private investigator there, and they were all charged up, and you're supposed to yell and stuff like that while you do it. And I mean, I came out like completely pumped up, and feeling,
Yeah.
pretty macho. And then, but afterwards, I was like, oh my God, I think I liked that too much. And it just scared me, and I didn't want to do it anymore.
Oh, totally. It's got like when I was in high school, I knew all these like people in like karate. They all went to the same karate school, and somehow, well, of course, they all got in fights all the time, like because of it. Like they wanted to always test out their new acquired skills and stuff, and it was yeah, they were always getting into trouble because of it. And you would think, oh, they would somehow like by experiencing this training, they would know it's a responsibility in this, but instead they were just like totally juiced up to just like get in. They were like their tempers were just like out of control. Like you could just like be like that person looked at you weird, and they would just like start something,
Oh
and
my
it was like
God.
yeah, and it's like high school drama, so it would be like jocks versus like karate weird kids and stuff like that. Really strange.
What kind of school did you grow up at? I mean, did
I just
you?
went to public school at I was supposed to go to this one near my parents' house, but my sister was smoking a lot of weed, and so they thought I would too. So they sent me to one in Rockville, Maryland, which was a little fancier.
Uh-huh.
And instead it was like horrible, like really rich kids doing richer drugs.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and just like also like I think there was like a lot of the jocks were doing roids too because they were like out of control, insane.
Yeah.
And so it was like really academic, like kids that wanted to go to good colleges, and then like crazy preppy jock. It was like a bad John Hughes film, you know. And it really sucked. And I wish I just stayed at the school I was at,
Oh,
you know,
really?
because I like knew people there.
Uh-huh.
But I think it made me like a really like angry person by going to that school. And my mom always, when I always tell her that, she's like, "Oh, we just thought it would be, you know, you would get a better education or something like that."
Right. Well, I'm not to pry, but what was the angry part? The fact that the people were
Oh,
jerks?
just like, oh, like, because it was so like, oh, the jocks were like this, and the rich kids were like that, and you know, it was very, it was like a bad movie, you know,
Yeah.
and so
What?
it was just like,
So who
you
did you
know,
hang? So who did you hang out with? Who was your tribe or whatever? The people
well,
you.
I drew pictures, so for some reason I was okay with people that liked music, and then karate kids for some reason. And then I also hung out with karate because I was like, because I'm half like Chinese, so you know I would hang out with mostly Chinese kids and stuff like that.
Did you feel? What did you feel the pressure to do that?
Oh, hang out with Chinese kids?
Yeah. Or is that
I
just
think it was just they weren't. I think they were just like. No, I don't. I don't. I think it was just like they were not as jockey-ish. They
yeah.
weren't like jocks, and it's like you could be a Chinese kid and draw pictures and do karate.
Did you
You
do
know,
karate? Did you do karate too?
no, because I thought it was because I saw friends I know doing, and they seemed like not brainwashed, but they sort of had to do whatever the sensei told them to.
Right.
And so I think it had a cult like
Uh-huh.
vibe to it, you know, where it's like that was like their parental figure, but they would have to go to contests and
Oh yeah.
they had to compete all the time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know, for me, it's like I like the idea of like learning stuff, but I don't necessarily want to like have to do a tournament.
And prove it. Yeah. Have to
Yeah,
prove it
because
and
you got to pay
compete.
money too to do a tournament, and you
Right.
got to pay money to do different belts and stuff like that.
Right. You gotta wait. You gotta. I thought you got them because you earned them. You also had to
No,
pay
you
for
have to
them.
pay.
Oh man, I always thought it was like you earned it and you automatically they just gave you the belt.
I think you have to take you have to pay money to take a test. I think it's like a
Oh,
big scheme.
oh, that's too
Yeah,
bad.
yeah,
I
but
thought it was like the movies. Now, do you like martial arts movies? 'Cause I love martial
oh
arts
yeah, they're the
movies.
best.
I like
Yeah,
the ones that have like magical stuff happen in them.
oh yeah, they're great.
Like I don't know which one I saw. I saw a crazy one where well first I did see one recently where there were these ghosts that they had to fight to get out of the temple library,
Hmm.
and the ghosts were basically people in unitards, um, and with weird makeup on.
Yeah.
But at one point, the hero peed on one of the ghosts in a corner, and I
Whoa.
just felt like that's not something I would see regularly in a film.
Yeah, but I'm sure like it's like oh yeah, of course, you
Because
know.
it's an old, maybe it's an old story I didn't know about, you know?
Yeah, that stuff is yeah, like I mean, when I talk to my mom, she's like, yeah, she's from Hong Kong, and her stories are like, she has a lot of stories. I'm just like, I don't know if that's true, mom. Like, she had one crazy one where like to move dead bodies from one hill to the other, they would somehow, I don't know, like somehow they would get them to walk, the bodies actually to move or something like that.
Oh, you kidding me? No, like when they're fresh?
No, when they're after they've been buried for a while. Like she has all sorts of crazy stories.
Oh,
I'm like, what are you talking about? And
like zombie
she'll be
stuff?
like, no, it's true.
I love folklore stuff. I love that kind of folklore stuff. And this one movie I saw had like a character whose head was a peach, and he had some kind of wisdom or magical powers. And I was like, this is like Wizard of Oz, but it's martial arts. I gotta
Yeah.
find that. I watched it once, and when I was watching it, I thought, is this for real? I can't believe I'm watching this. And then I don't remember the title. So maybe
Yeah.
maybe I was just too close to the cat litter, you know, starting to starting to hallucinate.
Well, yeah, no, it would be like, oh, no, that's like typical for this kind of movie. That's just like, oh, that's just like a thing. Yeah, it's I think, yeah, that's what's kind of cool. Same with like Bollywood films and stuff like that.
Oh
You know,
yeah, yeah.
it's just like it's like totally normal. Oh yeah, this is the scene where this kind of stuff goes down, and you're
Right.
just supposed to be like, cool.
And we were like talking earlier about, you know, satanic panic and all that. And it
Yeah,
does make you, when you start to see those films, it's like, makes me realize like, boy, Western culture has a really limited imagination.
yeah,
Like,
definitely.
can you get beyond the like just the two stupid characters of good and evil? Can we get to some really interesting, like strange creatures? I,
Yeah, it well, it's like yeah, everything I think is just like yeah, you would think well Christianity would be more happening if they had more colorful, interesting characters, you know? Like if
yeah,
you if
yeah,
yeah, like all they need to do is make some like like I don't know, make some I don't know, people like blue people or people with like 10 eyes,
right,
you know? And everyone like if
right.
Jesus had 10 eyes, that'd be rad.
Yeah, because he's all seeing. See,
Yeah, or if
like
he
it.
had like extra fingers, you know, that'd be insane. Everyone would be like, "That's sweet." Or he had like a cool outfit. But it's like they
Yeah,
never really they worked really hard. The Christians they worked really hard, like pushing this stuff, but they didn't really think about like the package, you know.
no, and they didn't want to improve. They thought it was fine the way it
Yeah,
was.
and it's so boring, you
I
know.
know.
It's so boring.
And they've gotten a lot of airtime. I feel like with all this airtime, all these high ratings, they really should give us more for our money. You know?
Yeah, but I guess the question is like, what if you were like, I'm going to redesign these characters? Do you
Right.
think people would go for it? Would it be blasphemy?
Right.
But
Right.
maybe there's market, you know? I mean, anything goes nowadays.
Right. You know, be careful, you know, Eric, they might actually steal this idea from us. So,
I mean, think about it. What if you, like, I mean, and that way it could become action figures. And that
right.
would get kids into it.
Exactly. You know, I bet there's something like this, and I bet Jack Chick has probably worked on something like this.
Oh, definitely. I
Yeah.
mean, now I think I actually have like a direction, and like I feel like suddenly I like thanks to the doodling, you know, even the cat likes it. Kitty's blocking the screen. Oh my gosh.
Oh, hey, you know,
Yeah.
actually, our time is up.
Okay. Kitty knew.
Yeah.
He's like, your time's up.
Yeah, your cat kind of came in as master of ceremonies. I was negligent on my duties.
Oh
So there's the lovely sunset in my studio.
my God, the sun's setting.
Okay.
There we are.
Yay! Hey, thanks
Yeah.
for doing that. I didn't get a chance to see it, but it looked like it was
Oh,
pretty
okay. Let me see.
floral.
It's just a bunch of
Wow.
vlogs.
You are as fast as I am.
I'm not. That's called a big Sharpie.
Yes, it really helps to talk when I draw. I find that really helpful. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna work on these action figures.
Yeah, I want to check out a prototype.
Okay.
And then we're gonna see if Mattel will want to do them.
Oh, are they still around, Mattel?
No, but we're gonna help them kind of
Oh,
get
okay.
themselves.
I'm down.
I don't know. I don't know. No, but I'm curious. If anyone can do it, you could reinvent Christianity.
We're gonna make Christianity awesome again.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hotter than ever.
Hot. Hot. The word hot is always
Yeah.
a good word for that. Yeah.
It's awesome.
All right. Hey, have a great evening, and thanks for
Yeah.
joining us.
I will. Thank you.
Yeah. And thanks everyone in the studio audience for listening and drawing and watching. As always, it's great for all of us to do this. I just wanted to let you know, Alfredo Diaz is going to be with me next Friday. And as always, we do this for 30 minutes every Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So have a great weekend and a great week. Bye.
Bye.